Trump didn't just tour the Middle East. He auctioned off America's moral compass at every stop. This week, Trump returned to the Gulf like a salesman on commission, signing multiple multi-billion-dollar deals with oil-rich monarchies. He also seemed to have cut a AI tech agreement with authoritarian rulers. He also cozied up to regimes he once threatened with sanctions. But here's the twist. He skipped Israel. He embraced Syria's new leader, and he left behind a message, loud and clear. Money talks, democracy walks. From $1.4 trillion in artificial intelligence deal with the UAE, to Qatar gifting him a private jet, to Saudi Arabia pledging $600 billion in investments. This wasn't diplomacy. This was a clearance sale for American foreign policy. Today on the Allenanalysis podcast, we break it all down. Who got paid and who got played, and why Trump's Middle East tour might be the beginning of a transactional foreign policy era where freedom takes a backseat and the highest bidder drives.
Gleaming marvels of Riyadh and Abu Dhabi were not created by the so-called nation builders, neocons, or liberal nonprofits. The birth of a modern Middle East has been brought by the people of the region themselves. Peace, prosperity, and progress ultimately came not from a radical rejection of your heritage, but rather from embracing your national traditions and embracing that same heritage that you love so dearly.
I will not go down that way. I choose to fight back. I choose to rise, not fall. I choose to live, not die. And I know that what's within me is also within you.
Let's get into it. Let's start in Riyadh, where Trump inked a $600 billion investment commitment from Saudi Arabia. This package spans defense, energy, technology, and infrastructure sectors. Remember when Trump claimed he was tough on Saudi Arabia after the Khashoggi murder? Now he's cashing their checks apparently. This deal includes a $142 billion arms package, the largest defense corporation agreement Washington has ever done. When you're cashing $600 billion checks, you don't ask about Khashoggi. Next stop, Qatar. Trump secured a $96 billion deal with Qatar Airways for up to 210 Boeing aircrafts, the largest ever wide-body order for Boeing. But the headline grabber? Qatar's royal family gifted Trump a $400 million luxury Boeing 747-8 intended to serve as the new Air Force One. Critics, including former Vice President Mike Pence, raised national security concerns, citing Qatar's alleged support for extremist groups. You can't claim to be draining the swamp while flying over it in a jet paid for by Gulf Royal.
To do something, and if we can get a 747 as a contribution to our Defense Department to use during a couple of years while they're building the other ones, I think that was a very nice gesture. Now, I could be a stupid person and say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane. We give free things out. We'll take one, too. And it helps us out because, again, we're talking about we have 40-year-old aircraft. I would never be one to turn down that kind of an offer. I mean, I could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane. The UAE, Qatar, and others, we keep them safe. If it wasn't for us, they probably wouldn't exist right now. And I think this was just a gesture of good faith. And I don't get it. Someday it'll be like Ronald Reagan. They decommission them. You know, they get to a certain age, they decommission them. It'll go to my library. They're talking about going to my library.
In the UAE, Trump announced a $1.4 trillion investment commitment focused on AI, semiconductors, energy, and manufacturing. This includes the construction of the world's largest AI data center cluster and access to millions of advanced NVIDIA AI chips. Critics worry about national security, especially given the UAE's ties with China. When Trump sells our tech edge to the Emirates, what's left for the people who actually built it?
I've never been a fan of American presidents criticizing America on foreign soil. And to have the president in Saudi Arabia questioning America's global war on terror and describing it as nation building and interventionist. I thought was a disservice to generations of Americans who wore the uniform, who took the fight to our enemy in Afghanistan and in Iraq. Particularly giving that speech in Saudi Arabia, where 15 of the 19 9/11 hijackers hailed from, and not including Osama bin Laden, I thought was unfortunate.
Notably, Trump skipped visiting Israel, signaling a potential shift in U.S. foreign policy priorities. Instead, he met with Syria's new leader, Ahmed al-Sharaa, a former al-Qaeda fighter, and announced the lifting of all U.S. sanctions on Syria. This move surprised even his own sanctions officials.
Today, we reaffirm this important bond, and we take the next steps to make our relationship closer, stronger, and more powerful than ever before. It is more powerful than ever before. And by the way, it will remain that way. We don't go in and out like other people. It will remain that way.
Cash up front, conscience out back. Imagine Biden doing this. They would impeach him before he landed. Trump's approach emphasized transactional relationships, focusing on economic gains over traditional alliances and human rights advocacy. This trip underscores a significant pivot in U.S. Middle East policy, signaling a departure from previous diplomatic norms. No allies, just clients.
You're an amazing country, you're a rich country, you can have your choice, but I know you'll never leave my side. And you know the special relationship that we have and our country has. We have now, I think, substantially over $10 trillion of investment. And now when I add the $1.4 trillion, we easily break that number.
If you think this episode exposed something the media won't touch, share it, rate it, and send it to someone who still thinks Trump's America First wasn't for sale. Next week, we're breaking down the cartel family crossover deal. Yes, 17 cartel relatives just walked into the U.S. under Trump's watch.
It's an honor to be with you. Two countries also agreed to create a path for UAE to buy some of the world's most advanced AI semiconductors from American companies, a very big contract. This will generate billions and billions of dollars in business and accelerate the UAE's plans to become a really major player in artificial intelligence. So it's a great tribute to the job you've done here. I'm very proud to be representing the United States of America, and thank you all for being here.